So there is a brand new bank switching offer starting on the 14th of March 2023, and it's from Halifax, and it is for £175. In this video, I will take you through how to get it, who can get it, when you'll get the money, all those important factors. Plus, I'll give you a quick roundup as well of what the other offers are available right now as well, if you're looking at getting choosing between one or two switches. Now, let's head over to this table up from my website, becleveryourcash.com, and here are the main details to go through. As you see, £175, that is the amount of money you'll get for this switch. That is the same as the Halifax offered in November of last year, and it's the highest they've ever given you for switching into them. So if you haven't had the offer before, if you're eligible for it, as we'll go through in a moment, it's a good time to grab that cash. In terms of when you get this money, it's a relatively fast paying one. Once the switch has completed the bank switch itself from a different bank, and that can take, at its fastest, 7 working days. Once you've done that, basically you met any criteria that's required, you'll get the money within 3 working days after that. So potentially you could get this money in less than 2 weeks. It's a really fast one to get that cash through. Sometimes banks pay even earlier as well, but I would imagine you're looking here at 10 to 14 days in total to get the cash. Now this is open for new and existing customers. Again, I'll take you through the other requirements in a minute, but you might be able to get this if you're already with Halifax. You don't have to be new to the bank. So how do you get it? What are the requirements? Well, first of all, you have to already have or open one of 2 types of account. It's either the reward account or the ultimate reward account. Now, the reward account is one I've spoken about a lot on this channel. I've got a whole video dedicated to how you can actually have 3 of these. Obviously, switching bonuses only once, but you can get 3 of these accounts, and every single month, as long as you jump through a few hoops, you get £5 or a cinema ticket or 2 movie rentals. There are some other things as well. I wouldn't really bother with those as much. So if you're interested in that, check out my video taking you through all those different rewards, how to get them. But one important thing to remember here with this account, with this reward account, there is a fee every single month of £3. But you can avoid this, okay? So don't worry about it. It's easy to avoid it. You have to pay in £1,500 every single month. Now, this does not have to be in one go. It can be from an external bank. Can't be a transfer from within Halifax, but you can transfer it in from a different bank account, and you can do it in one go, or you can do it in smaller installments. So you could put 500 in, take it out, put it back in, put it back, 3 times, and that would at least qualify you. That would mean you avoid the fee itself. In order to get that £5 reward, as I did mention, there are some hoops you have to jump through. I would choose here when you're applying for the account, I personally would choose the option to pay with your debit card, to spend £500 with your debit card every single month. Ignore the one about saving $5,000 in the account. Again, I do talk about this in more detail in the other video, but when you're applying, that's an important one to go for there. If you open up one of that account, or already have that account, you're eligible. If you already have this one or the ultimate reward account, again, you'll be eligible. Now, the ultimate reward account, this is basically the reward account itself that I just spoke about, plus some added insurance. I personally would think this is not going to be right for most people. You're getting things like travel insurance, breakdown cover, all of that kind of stuff. They can be good value, these kind of premium accounts, these packaged accounts. But on the whole, if you are interested in one of those, I would shop around. Don't necessarily think the Halifax Ultimate Reward one is going to be maybe the right one for you. It's definitely not the cheapest one out there. And you might find if you don't need all the different components that they offer you, you're better off buying those things individually. So for example, travel insurance. If you are going abroad worldwide throughout the year, and you're going to go for a number of different times on holiday, then maybe it could start to be quite competitive when you factor in the other bits as well. But if you're going to go away just for a city break in Europe, you could buy a one-off travel package, and that would probably be a lot cheaper, even if you also need things like breakdown cover and gadget insurance. So again, I personally think go for the reward account, not the ultimate reward account. So let's assume you opened it or you've already got the account. The other key criteria you need here is to have not received a switching bonus from Halifax since April 2000. So anytime in the last 3 years you've already switched to Halifax, sadly you will not be able to get the cash this time. Did it before that. In fact, the first bank I ever switched to was Halifax back in 2013. So they were offering money well before this date. Then you will be able to get the money for a second time. But that cutoff date is really, really, really important here. Should also say you can get this bonus if you have already had switching cash from Lloyds. Even though they're part of the same bank, it doesn't matter. This is about just Halifax. You cannot have the money from Halifax itself. You can have it from Lloyds or Bank of Scotland, but not from Halifax. Now, as with any banking switch promotion, you're going to have to switch from a different bank using the current account switching service. Again, a whole video taking you through how switching works over there somewhere up that corner. Click on that link And that'll take you through. If you're new to Switch and you've done it before, that'll explain to you how to do it. But this does involve closing the previous account that you had, okay? So it has to be from a different bank, not Halifax, a different bank, and that bank will close down completely. This is why I often talk about having what I call a dummy current account you use for switching, one that you do not want to keep for any reason. You just do it to switch over. And often if you've done switches in the past, maybe you want to switch over a previous account. Just worth bearing in mind here, if you have got an account that you don't really use, it's not your main account, you're going to switch it. If you have any linked products with it, this could well be a regular saver, for example. If that requires you to have a current account, that will also close when you move across. However, if you have something that does not require you to have a current account, a mortgage perhaps, or a credit card, they will still remain active. And if you have multiple accounts at that bank you're switching from, you'll only be closing down the one you literally are switching from. The other ones will stay open, okay? But again, you have to switch and that will close as part of that. It has to be from a different bank. The only really exclusion here, other than the date one we mentioned here, is you offer limited to once per person. So you can't do this on more than one account right now. You can't do it on a personal and a joint account. And incidentally, it's worth bearing this in mind. If you are switching into a joint account with Halifax, you only get the reward once, even if you're both doing this, okay? So I personally not bother switching a joint account over. I would switch an individual account for yourself and get your whoever has the joint account with you to also do an individual switch, because that means you'll both get that 175 quid. Now, in terms of when this offer is going to end, the published date is the 3rd of April 2023. This is the last date for you to start the switch either on a new or existing account. You've still got time for the switch to complete after this, but you have to start it before then. And just a word of warning here, when Lloyds ran an offer last month, they actually ended that, they changed the date, they brought it forward a little bit. So there is a chance, although they're saying the 3rd of April, is there a chance it could be brought forward? If there are any changes, if you're watching this a bit later on in the month, do check over becleverwithyourcash.com/banks. That is where I list not just all the information about this deal, but all the other switching deals that are out there. So if there have been any changes or any other new promotions that have come along, that is the place to go. Let's quickly end this video, just have a look at what other switching offers are available at the moment. Again, new ones may well come along, and I'll update this when they do come along. However, we've still got kind of a switching deal, a bit more complicated. The Barclays Premier Avios switch. You have to have a Premier account. Again, this is not going to be for most people. And then you're getting Avios points, which if you want to use them as cash, you're going to have to convert them into Nectar points. But that's still out there. First Direct is still offering £175. Halifax, the deal we've spoken about just now. NatWest and RBS are still both offering £200 as well. According to the rules, you can only get the money from one of those, either NatWest or RBS. I have seen some people in the comments on the community here on YouTube and the blog saying they managed to get it twice. Now, that's obviously a mistake. Whether it's a mistake that's rectified by the banks asking for that money back, I don't know. But again, let me know in the comments below if you've managed to hack that as well and get the money more than once. My name's Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. Check out these videos right here for more ways to make money from your bank.